Genshin alchemy truly is fast.
We're gonna do the not Krai story Archon quest.
Hey, Neffa. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That is perfectly all right. My data indicates clear skies in the coming days. Current conditions for maritime travel, optimal. I'll be ready whenever you are.
But are we really gonna set off without telling anyone again? Funny you mention it. You'll never guess who Paimon saw on the way over.
Hey! You didn't seriously think we'd let you leave without a farewell party, did you? No chance.
Yeah, come on, Traveler. We've already made all the preparations. And most importantly, how dare you try and slip away without first paying your respects to the almighty Dragon Lord!
A little bird told us you'd soon be leaving for Krai. So, we asked Paimon to give us a heads up before the date of your departure.
You sure it's not time to think about changing that little habit of ours?
Don't worry, we won't keep you long. Besides, everyone's there already. Chaska, Ian-san, Auroron, even the Pyro Archon herself.
You're invited too, Anefa. Shilonen has a special gift for you.
Accompaniment request accepted. Shilonen demonstrates excellent massage technique. My impression of her is exceedingly positive.
Wait, so robots like massages too? Or is it just that Shilonen really knows how you're wired?
Alright, enough with the chit-chat. Let's head to the venue.
Woohoo! Party time!
Spit it out then.
They've set off.
Just as my calculations projected. About time I met this variable in person.
You know, every time we head to a new nation, there's always a point where it suddenly dawns on Paimon. This is it. The next chapter of our adventure has begun. This time, it was the moment she realized she just polished off the very last of her Saurus crackers. Should have stocked up better at the farewell party.
In other words, Paimon has marked the geographic coordinates from 2 minutes and 40 seconds ago as the boundary between Natlan and Krai. This deviates somewhat from the official coordinates stored in my database.
Paimon meant more in terms of how it felt on a psychological level. Anyway, what about you, Traveler? When did it really sink in for you? Huh, that actually kind of makes sense. What about you, Anefa? Come to think of it, maybe we should be asking the other way around. So, when you came over to Natlan, what was the moment you felt like you'd left Krai?
In that case, probably when my sensors could no longer detect the moon's power.
The moon? You mean, that one we can all see in the sky?
Negative. I was referring to... Here we are. Paimon, Traveler, we have arrived in Krai.
Oh, wow!
Paimon, Traveler, welcome to Krai.
That must be Nasha Town up ahead! That's the place you were telling us about on the way over, right?
That is correct, Paimon. It is also the most bustling commercial hub in all of Krai.
trying out all the local specialties. Huh? Is something up, traveler?
Paimon, this is where our spaceship landed when Ether and I first arrived in Tevat.
Huh? Are you sure? But how come you've never mentioned that before? Seems pretty important to Paimon.
Well, because those memories are really hazy. All I remember is Ether waking me up and us leaving the ship. But just now, setting foot on this land, I felt something. The kind of power I sensed in those moments.
Are you referring to Kuvaki?
What now?
The locals refer to it as Kuvaki. It is a unique elemental force found only in Krai, or rather, a pure, primordial form of elemental energy. That is correct. Another similar concept I have found in my database is the primordial sea. Legend has it that long, long ago, the moon that shines in the sky above us once rose from the land of Krai. Modern geological surveys and meteorite studies conducted in the region have since supported this claim.
So, when you mentioned being able to detect the moon's power earlier, you were referring to Kuvaki? Wait, Traveler, you're saying we might actually find your spaceship here? Do you still remember where it landed?
Krai is surrounded by the ocean. In other words, it could have been anywhere along its coastline. Negative. Description still lacks sufficient detail to pinpoint target location.
Hey, it's okay if you can't remember everything right away. After all, it's been a really long time. Let's just do what we've always done, and keep searching as we explore. Besides, what have you got to fear with your sidekick Paimon still here?
I'd be more than happy to help you out as well.
Our pleasure. Anyway, just knowing that your spaceship's here in Krai surely counts as a big step forward, huh?
Like we've crossed another boundary?
Paimon couldn't have put it better herself. You sure are a quick learner, Ineffa. Well, as the best guide in the whole of Tevat, Paimon hereby does solemnly declare, Krai, here we come!
Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion.
It just occurred to Paimon, if we were looking to put out a missing spaceship commission, or to learn more about Krai, wouldn't it make sense to drop by the Adventurers Guild?
The guild is located in Nasha Town. Simply follow this road and you'll reach it.
Huh? What in Tevat is that? Looks kinda like a Sealy, floating around in the air like that.
That is a Kuhanki, a species unique to the land of Krai.
A Kuhenki? Does she have something to do with the moon, too?
Indeed it does. According to the Frost Moon Scions, the indigenous inhabitants of this land, the Kuhenki, are said to be familiars of the moon goddess, leading those who walk in the moonlight's glow to things of great importance.
The moon goddess? Don't all people here worship the Tsaritsa?
Although Krai lies on Snezhnaya's border regions, the people here have held their own unique beliefs since time immemorial. As I mentioned, everything in this land shares a deep connection with the moon and the sky above. The beliefs of the Frostmoon Scions seem to date back to the civilization of the angels. According to the documents in my database, even the 7 Archons did not exist at that time.
Wow! So the origin of their beliefs goes back even further than the Archon War?
Correct. At some point, you may come across some statues of their goddess. The Frostmoon Scions carved these as well.
Hey! Looks like she's floating away!
I suggest you follow her. The probability of an ordinary person encountering a Kuhegki lies in the single digits. Many here consider them heralds of good fortune.
Is this a travel guide? Huh. It actually led us to something useful.
Are there any particular points of interest?
Oh, it all looks pretty interesting to Paimon. If we have time, she'd love to see, pretty much everything.
Recalibrating route. If we keep following the current path, we will arrive at an area of scenic beauty. From there, we will be able to identify both the Adventurers Guild and several must-visit specialty stores.
Yikes! Why is Paimon suddenly getting the feeling that if she doesn't step it up soon, enough is gonna put her out of a job?
This place sure is different from Snezhnaya.
Only treasure that's waiting.
Wow! Nasha Town actually looks pretty big from here. Feels a bit different than Paimon imagined, though.
Which aspects in particular deviated from your expectations?
Well, Paimon keeps hearing people describe Krai as an adventurer's paradise. So, she kind of thought it'd be a bit more picture perfect somehow.
According to legend, there was indeed an era of peace in Notkrai's past, the age of the Fae. Tales of those ancient heroes are still told today. One of the most well-known is that of the Lantern Fae. This individual performed many good deeds for Notcrai. The present-day Lightkeeper's nightly lantern patrols are, in part, a tribute to their memory. But then, one day,
What happened?
there came a devastating abyssal calamity that swept across Notcrai, and for a time it was left desolate. Heartbroken by what had become of the land they had so cherished, that Fae extinguished their light, just as the abyss had extinguished all hope. Nowadays, the paradise people speak of is more of an aspiration, or an irony, perhaps.
An irony?
Today, no official authority governs Notcrai. In theory, at least, it is somewhere a person can do whatever they wish, and become whoever they want to be. The Adventurers Guild is just over there, in Nasha Town's Central Plaza, and the flagship tavern is over that way.
Hey, what's that building over there? You know, the biggest, tallest one.
That is Aino's Blast Kuvaki energy cannon. It gets activated when the wild hunt threat level outside Nasha Town reaches a certain threshold. But according to the scan I just ran, the energy cannon appears to be malfunctioning, likely due to a recent discharge.
The Wild Hunt? Isn't that the abyssal calamity you mentioned that's specific to Notcrai?
It is a phenomenon that has been occurring for several centuries now. Yet the time and location of wild hunt attacks are seemingly random. At first, it was more of an old wives' tale that adults used to scare children. If you don't start behaving, kid, some night, the Wild Hunt's gonna come for you. Listen, do you hear that? That weeping in the fog? Those are the cries of a young woman being dragged away.
You're saying people actually hear things like that?
I have not witnessed enough Wild Hunt attacks to give a statistically sound answer. But the oldest legends say that all people saw was the ghostly shadow of a woman in the mist. It wasn't until later that it became a full-blown calamity. Abyssal monsters and all.
Oh, when you put it like that, Paimon's really gotta hand it to Aino. Not only did she repair you, but she's even built a giant cannon to keep the Wild Hunt at bay.
Absolutely. Aino is very impressive indeed. Anyway, according to my schedule, it is time I took you over to the flagship.
Oh, sure. After all, we shouldn't keep Varka waiting. Well, Paimon's not sure if he'll actually show up at the bar this early. You're right about that.
Take me up!
Wow! This place is buzzing with activity! Oh, hey! There's a notice board over there. Huh! Isn't this the Adventurers Guild? Why isn't anyone here? Does that mean that Catherine and Nodkrai actually gets to clock out? Anyway, let's come back later.
Here we are, the flagship.
Varka told us to meet him here in his letter, right? Let's see. Varka? Varka!
No matches, I identified.
Huh. So he isn't here after all. Oh, guess we never did actually say we'd be arriving today. Hey, why don't we go ask the owner? If what they say is true, Varka's drinking prowess must have left quite the impression.
Well, well. If it isn't the ineffable Ineffa.
Hello there, Demyon.
You know each other?
Of course! Ineffa's a regular here at the flagship.
So, robots are into booze too?
Not at all. The energy conversion efficiency of alcoholic drinks is very low, and most of them are full of impurities. Still, I can affirm that your berries and fried meat deserve a solid 9.12 out of 10. It has Aino's approval too.
Funny that you should mention that. While you were away in Natlan, Varka would come in here every day to pick up a serving of berries and fried meat for Aino.
Aww. He must have been worried sick that she wasn't eating properly on account of being so hung up about Ineffa being gone.
Actually it's 'cause Varka found out that Aino went wild after Ineffa left, gorging herself on snacks she normally couldn't get her hands on. So it was more worry that she wasn't getting a balanced diet. I think I might have just put my foot in it. Anyway, since you're back from Natlan, these two must be the ones Varka mentioned. the Traveler, and Paimon, yes?
Yep, that's us. So, from the sounds of it, you must be a close friend of Varka's too.
I can't wait to meet Varka, he's so fucking
Goes without
hot.
saying. After all, he's the only one around here who's ever managed to stay standing after 10 rounds of the roulette special.
Paimon can't believe he's made such a name for himself. Though, guess it's hardly surprising how.
Right now? Must be somewhere near Anvantinjarvi. That's quite far from here.
Huh? Where's that?
It's a lake in the northern part of Krai. Word reached him of trouble brewing around those parts, so he took his knights to check it out.
Oh. So, we missed him?
Varka knew you'd say that. So he specifically told me to make sure you stayed here and enjoyed yourselves. He sends his assurances that everything's under control.
Well, if he's that confident, guess our only option is to accept. Anyway, it's not like there's any special cause for concern. He is the Grand Master, after all.
Exactly. Plus, not only has he booked you into our finest room, he's paid for it in advance, too.
Whoa! That's so generous of him! We might not have met yet, but Paimon's got a feeling that we'll get along with Varka like a house on fire.
Oh, and by the way, he also asked me to serve up a portion of berries and fried meat for Anefa. That was prepaid as well.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm the one who should be grateful for your business.
Traveler, Paimon, why don't you go ahead and drop off your luggage? I can use this time to go pick up some components that Aino asked me to bring back.
Sure thing. Besides, now that we've got ourselves a map, once we're done unpacking, we might as well go for a stroll ourselves. Why don't we meet up again later?
Oh. So you no longer require navigational assistance?
No worries, we should be fine. We've got a rough idea of our way around town, so Paimon's reasonably confident we shouldn't get too lost.
Thank you. This translates into an approximate time saving of 30%, meaning I will be able to see Aino about 45 minutes earlier than previously projected.
Oh, right. You must miss her a lot, too. In that case, we better get a move on.
There's still a long road.
Feels pretty nice having someone sort out our food and lodging for us, huh? But is this really the flagship's best room? It's pretty big, make no mistake, but it looks a little worn out, right? Though, to be perfectly honest, that feels right at home with everything else we've seen of Nasha Town. You mean it's got something to do with Krai's history? Oh, that makes sense. But what exactly was this calamity? Should we try the berries and fried meat too? Paimon's getting hungrier and hungrier every time someone mentions it.
Hello, Monsieur Flins. Oh my
Where
gosh.
she was going.
Please, there's no need to apologize. If anything, I'm the one who should be sorry. Clearly, I shouldn't have gotten lost in my thoughts in the middle of a hallway.
Wait a sec. Are you staying in the room next to ours?
Ah, quite the perceptive one, I see. First things first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kirill Chudamirovich Flintz, but please, just call me Flintz.
Whoa, that's... And an impressively long name for sure.
Huh. Is that so? Names like mine ought to have been fairly common in Snezhnaya, at least in the past. Would I be correct then to assume that the two of you are travelers in this land?
Yep, you sure would be. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We've been to a bunch of nations already, but we only just arrived in Krai today.
What a rare honor it is to meet such worldly travelers.
Are you here for travel too?
If only I had the time to spare. No, I'm just staying the night.
Oh, so you're here for business?
That's certainly one way to put it. I'm a Ratnik of Krai, normally stationed near the burial grounds to the north. My sole cause for being here today was to repair this lantern of mine.
Burial grounds?
Your surprise is entirely understandable. Most people cannot even begin to fathom the idea of a life surrounded by tombstones and decay. But if you've heard of the calamitous abomination that is the Wild Hunt, you'll know that in their wake they bring a host of souls tainted by abyssal filth. That then is why we are stationed by the burial grounds, to hold the line where it is most vulnerable.
Oh, so it's all about fighting against the abyss. Oh, sounds like a tough job.
I thank you for your concern. But in truth, I've long since grown used to it. In fact, I like to think it rather suits me. If anything, I'd say I prefer the peace and quiet of a graveyard to the hustle and bustle of urban life.
Paimon sort of gets it now. But even so, she's still pretty sure she could never get used to living in a graveyard herself. For one thing, she'd be too scared to fall asleep at night.
Oh, I assure you, there's no need to worry on that account. The kind of ghosts you find in cemeteries aren't too big on talking. But even when they do, they're usually far more discreet than the living. Well, would you look at
LMAO.
that? Who'd have thought we'd end up
He's
chatting this
emo
long?
as hell.
Must have a lot in common, huh? Forgive me, but I must excuse myself, for the time of my appointment draws near. And in terms I'm sure you'll understand, a lanternless Ratnik is like a mapless traveler. A serious conundrum indeed.
Oh, sure. In that case, you go right ahead. We won't keep you any longer.
Not at all. Should the opportunity present itself, I'd gladly continue our conversation another time. You're always welcome to come visit my grave. I mean, the grave I stand watch over. Your visit would bring much needed light to that place of final rest.
Right. Well, if we get the chance.
Then allow me to wish you a traditional Ratnik's farewell. See you by the graveside.
Ugh. Jeez. What a weirdo. Not to badmouth him at all. In fact, he seemed pretty cultured, but at the same time, kinda spooky? Must be all that time he spent around graveyards. His lantern? No, not really. You mean, 'cause it was broken? Huh. Guess you've always had a nose for stuff like this. If you're worried, you can always ask him the next time we cross paths. start spouting all that weird stuff too.
Let's fly.
Paimon almost forgot something super important. Were we
What
gonna
did
go
you
try out
forget?
the berries and fried meat?
Girl, bye.
But now,
I'm
heading all the way
craving
back to the
some
flagship
too.
feels like such a waste.
I feel like
Please,
eating.
accept today's boon. Come night or day, may the blessings of the moon
Purr.
goddess shine
There
down
she
upon
go.
Huh?
Queen
What's going
Llama.
on over there? Wait, free?
Goddess Llama.
Wow,
Llama.
the people here are so nice. Quick, let's grab some too. Paimon's super curious what their food tastes like.
Moonlight illuminates the path before you, travelers from afar.
Huh? How'd you know we were travelers?
Just now were a song the birds in the sky, singing of your wanderings. You are no ordinary guests, it seems.
The birds and the... what now?
Forgive me. I should not have laid the words of others out as a welcome mat for our very first meeting. You, too, must be wondering who I am. I am Lauma, moon chanter of the Frost Moon Scions. Please, as do our followers and other passers-by, accept today's boon.
Happy to oblige. Paimon's name is Paimon, and this here is the Traveler. Thanks so much for sharing your yummy food with us. We'll take one each.
Think nothing of it. These fruits were the finest we found, delicacies gathered in the wake of the morning dew. It is my hope that partaking of them will lift
Y'all,
your
I feel like
spirits to heights
eating.
in-
Them foods looks pretty.
Wow, that sure is kind of you, but wouldn't you want to keep those for yourselves?
The first fruit of the harvest must be placed upon the moonlight altar, not as an offering to the gods, but as a spark for lost hunters. For it is the blade of the starving that darkness most easily corrupts. As perhaps you have already heard, we Frost Moon Scions revere and worship the moon goddess. We believe that together, virtue and compassion are the shining light that will lead us all out of the long, dark night. And now, with tides of haughty Fatui swarming into Krai, driven by greed and greed alone, more than ever before, we must all unite under the banner of virtue.
Huh. Look who it is again.
Agreed.
Those insufferably
She knows the power
kind-hearted
of friendship.
Frostmoon Scions. Got enough for us too?
That's right! 2 servings each! We're starving over here!
Fatui! After what you've been doing to our sacred statues, how dare you even show your faces?
Wilhelmina, bestow today's boon upon our guests.
You hear that? No slacking now. We'll have the very best you got.
But, my lady, they...
Please, you two, accept this meal. But remember this. Kindness is the first lantern left to guide those who stumble in ignorance.
Come again?
Let me finish. But should they still refuse to follow the moonlit path, then by our frosted blades shall we show them its shadow.
You!
Hey, look who it is.
Tch, whatever. Just you wait. We'll be coming for you next. Huh? Where's the meat? Who wants to eat this garbage?
Those stooges really are the worst.
Ever since they came to Nod Krai with all their weird equipment and built that so-called experimental design bureau, our lives have been turned completely upside down.
Judging from how they reacted just now, it seems the Fatui already know who you are.
Well, we have gotten in their way in pretty much every nation we visited, so we're probably at the top of their blacklist by now.
I see. Then, on behalf of the Frost Moon's scions, I thank you for the goodwill you have shown us. Because if they had gotten ahead of themselves just now, I'm sure you would have stepped in to help. Just as the birds and beasts put it, your arrival heralds joy to us all. Besides, for a weary traveler far from home, what better respite than to bathe in the moonlight? You will always be welcome at the Frost Moon Enclave, the place we call our home. May we meet again in the moon's gentle glow.
These are delicious! So refreshingly fresh! Those two Fatui wouldn't know a good thing if it came up and bit them on the shoulder. Looks like Anefa isn't done with her shopping yet, and the Adventurers Guild is still empty. Where should we head next? Good idea! Wouldn't want to let the Kuhenki down, after all. Let's see... Okay, Paimon's got our route all figured out.
The fucking Fontaine vibe.
Don't fall behind! This is Nuts and Nuts. It's mostly a fruit shop, but there's a crafting bench too. This is the Speranza, one of the travel guide's recommended restaurants. All the waiters here are kids. This is the Vesnitsi Prolegic Greenhouse. Apparently, their flowers are all made of metal, so they'll never wilt away. And this is the Rossum Workshop. If you ever need a weapon made, this is the place to go. And over here, they've got a super tall observation deck. Whoa! Take a look at that! You can see really far out into the distance. That way's north, and that looks like something built by the Fatui? And then over there to the west, that must be the place Lauma mentioned, where the Frost Moon Scions live.
This is so funny.
So, what'd you think? Even if Anefa kinda stole her limelight earlier, this just goes to prove that Paimon's own tour guiding skills aren't too shabby either, right? She sure is! It'd take hundreds of years of practice to beat the best tour guide in all of Tibet. Huh? Look! There must be someone at the Adventurers Guild now. There's already a line forming outside. Looks like we'll finally be able to ask about your spaceship. Oh, or was there anywhere else you wanted to stop by first? Where? Which one are you... Oh. Now you mention it, Paimon's noticed it too. Ugh. Better not be who she thinks it is. Anyway, where we go first is completely up to you. Either the Adventurers Guild, or that suspicious-looking shop. A word of warning, though. If we step into that shop, be sure to keep a very close eye on your Mora.
Take me up!
Please, here you go. And if you ever need anything else, don't forget to make the great Lord Sangama Bay your first port of call.
Oh dear. So it is the real deal.
Of course it's the real deal. Everything you'll find here is 110% real. meaning every one of my deals is as real as a deal can... Wait a minute. Well, if it isn't my two most valued clients! And with no small thanks to your munificent patronage. Come. How could you just sneak into Not Krai like this without telling your dear Lord Sangama Bay? If I'd known earlier, I would have made an absolute pulled out all the stops to ensure that your boat ride over was as comfortable as humanly possible.
Thank the Archons we didn't tell you.
Oh, come now! You know as well as anyone how impeccably and conscientiously above board I am when it comes to doing business.
Well, regardless of whether that's true or not, the main issue here is that we had no idea you had a branch in Not Krai.
A clever merchant always has a backup plan, or two, or three up their sleeves. As the saying goes, a rabbit with many burrows fears not the hunter's arrows. A merchant with stores galore hears no debtors at the door. Since you're both here in Not Krai, would you care for some of my finest local souvenirs? Whatever you're looking for, I have it. Or if it's Sumeru you're missing, I've got that covered too.
We literally just arrived. Do we look like we're on the hunt for tourist trinkets to take back for our friends?
My, your high-minded tastes never cease to impress. In that case, I know just the thing. You must be on the hunt for something like this?
What's that? Your hat?
Information, of course. Information about Not Krai, locked securely in the otherwise impenetrable vaults of the Lord Sangama Bay's brilliant mind. I knew it! I just knew you'd appreciate the value of my wares. On the back of all our pleasant dealings in the past, I'll even take a hit by throwing in some insider info for free.
Wow. You sure are feeling uncharacteristically generous today.
What do you mean by uncharacteristically? I am the most generous person forget it. Anyway, the long and the short of it is this. The moment I set up shop in Not Krai, it struck me how many different factions there were, all competing against each other for power and influence. Well, as they say, there's no time for business like a crisis. Things got even more turbulent after the Fatui pulled down 2 ancient moons' remnants. People began to catch a whiff of the coming chaos. And the more troubled the waters, the greater the potential profit.
Not at all sorry to interrupt, but we're not here for Mora.
Oh, really? But surely it was the tales of an adventurer's paradise that brought you here. The chance to take your very own slice of all the latest and greatest business opportunities? In that case, what would you like to know about? The Frost Moon Scions? You mean the people who believe in the Moon Goddess? They're not a bad bunch. It's just, well, they have such simple tastes. No luxuries, no indulgences, no nothing. Trying to earn a little more from that lot is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. Still, things between them and the Fatui have gotten pretty tense. It's only a matter of time before the powder keg goes boom. And when that happens, that's when business will start to boom too. Oh, they're an organization set up to keep the locals safe. Apparently, they have a long and glorious history, and they're made up entirely of volunteers. But seriously, a volunteer organization in Not Krai? This place is hardly a magnet for noble hearts. No pay, all work. That's not a business model, and it's certainly not for me. Everyone knows they're here for the Ancient Moon's remnants, but no one's sure why they pulled them down in Not Krai of all places. Anyway, they've been acting mysterious enough, but if you ask me, that Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau of theirs up north hides secrets wilder still. That bunch of booze-loving monstaters? Ugh, don't even get me started. As fellow Outlanders, I thought they'd be easy pickings, but somehow, every single one of our business negotiations wound up at the flagship. I've done plenty of deals with heavy drinkers before, but those guys? I never once made it to the contract signing before blacking out. I'm getting flashbacks of the hangovers just thinking about it. What now? A spaceship? Nope, never heard of anything like that. Don't you two get involved in any big business here without so much as a heads up, you hear me? At the very least, consider letting me in as a key investor. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. Sooner or later, you'll no doubt end up doing business with some other merchants in Krai. And someone's bound to mention a place called the Curatorium of Secrets. Listen to my advice. Do not, under any circumstances, go there, no matter how much trouble you're in.
The Curatorium of Secrets? What do they get up to there?
Just a place that handles all kinds of disputes. But the owner will charge you an absolute fortune, and she has a temper to match. Nothing like your friendly neighborhood Lord Sangama Bay.
You're not just saying that to stop your competition from undercutting you, right?
When did that little pipsqueak get so sharp? And after I gave them all that info for free just to win them over. What do you mean? Of course not. I'm only thinking about your wallets. I mean, on behalf of your wallets.
You're really not convincing anyone, you know.
All right. Business is a cutthroat business. I won't argue with that. But I'm not lying about that boss lady. Not only did she make it into my top 3 people not to mess with in Krai, she's also in my top 3 people most eager to trade in favors.
Seriously? It feels like you're just bad-mouthing your rival now.
Fine. If you don't believe me, go see for yourselves. We might both be from Sumeru, but compared to hers, my conscience is so large, why, you could fill 3 whole palaces of Alcazar's array. But when you realize what I'm saying is true, don't say that good old Lord Sangama Bay didn't warn you. Anyway, don't be a stranger now. We might be in Krai, but don't forget, Dory's doors are always open for you.
Lucky us! The line seems to be gone now. Come on, let's go say hi to Catherine. Hey, Catherine, we meet again.
Girl, bye. Here comes Androne.
How ridiculous.
Huh?
They often say that mortals, shackled by their own flesh and blood, may fail to perceive the truth of this world, even when it is right beneath their very noses. Yet I had not expected to have the pleasure to witness such heights of absurdity firsthand.
But Paimon must have gotten the wrong person. At second glance, you do seem a bit younger than Catherine, and you certainly sound a lot less friendly.
A creator might forgive ignorance, but being mistaken for one of my own creations is beyond all pardon. Look very closely, for standing before you is none other than Marionette, 7th of the Fatui Harbingers.
A harbinger?
Today's encounter is merely a courtesy call. A friendly warning, if you will. You interfered with my work once before, with that little robot. I let it slide. After all, it was nothing more than a distraction, a side project at best. But we are in Krai now, and as such, I strongly advise you not to stand in the Fatui's way. Otherwise, the next time we meet, I might just have to drop all this meaningless etiquette.
Oh, please. You've got some nerve coming out with barely veiled threats like that. You're the one stirring things up here.
Oh, perhaps you have misunderstood. Just because Nod Krai lacks a ruler at present, that does not mean it should not be ruled. We Fatui are simply establishing a new order.
Yeah, right. More like shady experiments, judging by your massive, creepy research facility.
I've said what I came to say. What you do next, only you can decide. So why don't you start by using your already limited processing capacity to calculate your even more limited options? And, being the refined young lady that I am, I shall indulge you just this once. Ad Astra Abasask. Welcome to Nod Krai, Dominion of the Fatui.
Ugh! Paimon's so mad right now! How can anyone so obviously evil be so annoyingly self-righteous? But if a Fatui Harbinger is here to greet us in person, that can only mean one thing. We'll have to be extra careful from here on out. Paimon hates feeling like she's being watched. Hey! The real Catherine's back!
Ad Astra Abyssosque. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. How may I help? I will do everything I can to assist you.
You're so much nicer to talk to, Catherine. Please don't leave us again, okay?
Hmm?
Hello. I was just about to start tracking your whereabouts.
Did you manage to get everything Aino asked for?
I did. What about you? Do you need me to navigate or introduce any more places around town?
Not for now. We've seen most of it already. We probably need some time to process everything we've learned, though.
Any progress with the spaceship?
No. Catherine came back just now, so we asked her, but even she hasn't heard a thing.
One possible explanation is the vast stretch of time that has elapsed. Additionally, given the limited resources available in Nod Krai, it is entirely plausible that the wreck was scrapped for parts, or even mistaken for a pile of broken machinery.
Aww.
Understood. In that case, why don't we go ask Aino together? After all, she was the one who salvaged me. Ancient dragon technology and all. If there really are any unusual parts floating around Nod Krai, there's a high chance they've passed through her hands at some point or another.
Good point. And since you keep mentioning her, we're curious to meet this whiz-kid mechanic too.
Understood. Then I'll handle navigation as before. ETA at the Clink Clank Krumkake craft shop. 34 minutes ahead of schedule.
Ad Astra. Ad Astra. Ah, traveler. You have come at just the right time. I have something for you. You're certainly very familiar with the kind of work we do. But I'm afraid this has nothing to do with any of the above commissions. Please take this brand new Adventurers Guild notebook. The Adventurer Handbook is for recording details of your completed commissions and intel on all sorts of monsters, whereas this notebook is for recording the marvelous people and wonderful events you encounter on your travels. I hope it will be of help to you. Anyway, that's all for now. My commission is complete. Safe travels, traveler. Ad Astra Abyssosque.
There's so much space on this thing, but only one post. Let's see here. Wait, Inefa needs help? Uh-oh. What's this about a major crisis? And we should still head over and check on things, just in case.
Let's fly.
That's it for today right now. I'll do more soon. Have a good night.